Hey, everyone! It's over! The last episode of the second season of My Adventures with Superman has been released, and here we finally have the conclusion of the arc involving Brainiac and Supergirl. Did it end well? Was this season better than the first? Join me in this video as we analyze all the details of this season finale. Welcome to Comic Chronicles. Episode 10 of the second season of My Adventures with Superman wrapped up all the story arcs that were open since the first episode of the season in the best way possible. The standout character, without a doubt, was Supergirl, but before we dive into our spoiler-filled analysis, if you enjoyed My Adventures with Superman, please leave a super like on this video and hit that super subscribe button. Give us a boost so that YouTube recommends this video to more and more people, and our engaged community that loves Superman continues to grow. I'm counting on you. Thank you very much. The episode begins with the Human Defense Squadron trying to launch a missile attack against Brainiac, but they are quickly defeated. Amanda Waller takes down some Metallo robots while Luthor attempts to deactivate them. Lois, Jimmy, and Steve try to escape from the robots' attacks when Dr. Irons appears in his armor to help. This is where we see Lex Luthor's final moments in this season. Although he's not the imposing villain we're used to seeing just yet, he's already starting to show that well-known side of the villain, his aversion to aliens, specifically Superman. So, it's very likely we'll see more exploration of this character in future seasons. But here, his standout moment was definitely during the episode when he speaks against Superman at that convention. Back in episode 10, Superman and Kara struggle to get up from the ground, still weak from their exposure to the kryptonite from the Metallos. Then Livewire, Heatwave, and their team arrive to destroy the robots. Despite being villains, they don't want Earth to be destroyed. This reminds me of the last episode of Justice League Unlimited, where all the villains help the League fight against Darkseid. Waller is surrounded until Sam arrives to provide backup, and the two begin to fight side by side. It's also at this moment that it becomes clear Sam no longer sees Superman as a threat and orders everyone from the cavalry to assist. In order for Superman and Kara to reach Brainiac, the cavalry leads the way, destroying the Metallos to remove the kryptonite interference on the heroes. Once they manage to enter the ship, Brainiac gives the command Eradicator override, causing Kara to fall under his control. The villain admits to having destroyed Krypton because they were going to make a peace treaty with enemy nations, which would make Brainiac obsolete since he was created to be a weapon of war. Kara struggles to regain control and begins to attack Kal-El. Additionally, Brainiac orders all of the ship's systems to attack Superman, launching missiles that pursue him. These missiles chasing Superman even remind me of Darkseid's Omega beams. Clark flies away, trying to think about what to do, then recalls all the moments he had with his cousin and feels determined to bring her back to normal. He uses the missiles to destroy Brainiac's army of robots while embracing Kara and taking her away from the explosions. She attacks him, but Clark defends himself and tries to convince her to resist Brainiac's mental control, which makes her see herself as useless and weak, believing she is nothing without him. But Jimmy and Lois hug her along with Clark, showing her how strong she is and how much they love her. This moment felt very much like an anime scene, where characters try to bring another back through motivational speech. It was pretty cool. Kara manages to resist and destroys Brainiac's missiles with just her voice, then she and Superman start to push Kandor away from Earth towards the sun. As they near the sun, Brainiac refuses to give up and initiates the Black Zero Protocol, turning Kandor into a kryptonite cannon. He shoots a beam at Kara, who falls toward the sun. Kal-El flies to reach her and thinks he's trapped by the sun's gravity, but instead, his skin begins to glow more and more as it absorbs solar energy, the source of their powers, making them stronger. The two fly toward Kandor and split the ship in half with their strength, while we see Supergirl's new suit for the first time. Here we see Kara officially becoming Supergirl, and her suit is quite similar to Superman's new uniform, except for the cape, which has a different aesthetic, wrapping around her neck in a ninja-like fashion. Brainiac retaliates, attacking Kara, but she quickly defeats him with a final punch. However, she becomes very weak after the fight. Superman catches her, and they both hear cheers of joy coming from Earth, celebrating that the heroes have defeated Brainiac. Kara thinks they are thanking Superman, but he corrects her, saying they are thanking both of them. Kara feels happy because she has never saved a planet before, but then she immediately faints from exhaustion. Kara wakes up at the Kent farm after having slept for several days. She finally meets Clark's Earth parents, who are very welcoming to her. She's initially taken aback by all the affection but is happy to meet them. Next, we have a great scene of the Kent tradition. Clark takes Kara out to play baseball, and he doesn't hold back since they are both Kryptonians, and he finally has someone he doesn't need to restrain himself around. At the end of the episode, they gather all their friends for a barbecue at the farm. Jimmy, Kara, Mala, and Brain are helping to rebuild the city. We then see Perry celebrating the new front-page headline about Superman fighting to save the Earth, but he gets irritated when he sees that Vicky Vale managed to get an exclusive interview with Supergirl. That was quite funny. Amanda Waller is criminally charged for her abuse of power and false accusations against Superman. Next, we see LexCorp for the first time, with Lex and Slade admiring the construction of the building. The next day, on the Daily Planet terrace, Lois tells Clark that she declined the offer to work in Gotham because she doesn't want to be the next Vicky Vale, she wants to be the first Lois Lane. They celebrate, and soon Jimmy and Kara appear with soup so they can eat together. In this scene, we see everyone enjoying being together, with Kara feeling like part of the group. To wrap things up, Superman and Supergirl hear a distress call and fly off to help. Of course, Lois and Jimmy are along for the ride, so they don't miss the story, closing out the episode. And that's how the second season of My Adventures with Superman came to an end. On a lighter note, when Brainiac gives the Command Eradicator override to Supergirl, it's an Easter egg referring to the Eradicator, which is an ancient Kryptonian weapon merged with a human body to form the last son of Krypton, an extreme vigilante who emerged after the death of Superman. Moreover, as seen in previous episodes, Episode 10 is filled with references to anime, especially Dragon Ball, where many of the fight scenes easily remind us of what we've always seen Goku do during his battles. As perfect as it was, one thing that bothered me a bit was the fact that once again Kara submitted to Brainiac's mental control, even though it made complete sense for it to happen. Seeing it again was somewhat irksome, but the whole sequence of her pursuing Superman was really good. In my opinion, My Adventures with Superman is the adaptation that has best handled the character of Supergirl. All her dilemmas, action scenes, her past involving being controlled by Brainiac, and even her relationship with Jimmy have added numerous layers to her development. It made perfect sense for her to be responsible for delivering the final blow that took down Brainiac. She truly had a remarkable trajectory, going from the villain who destroyed planets to finally achieving redemption and becoming a hero. Without a doubt, she is my favorite version of Supergirl. As for Brainiac, I really liked this villain this season. He was a genuine threat to Superman. Apart from the design, which I'm not very fond of, his complexity as a weapon of war was well crafted, and his personality was quite faithful to the villain in the comics. If you want to learn more about Brainiac, I recommend reading the comics where the villain appeared. I'll leave links to some comics you can purchase at a good price in the video description, so you can support our channel without any extra costs. This season was excellent, even better than the first one. Here, we had very well constructed and closed story arcs, and the villain presented a great threat throughout the narrative, unlike the first season, where there were villains per episode. Thank you for being here in this video and for joining us throughout all these analyses of the 10 episodes of My Adventures with Superman. Share your thoughts on this season in the comments, click on the sphere appearing in the middle of your screen, and subscribe to our channel. Become part of this nerd community that loves Superman, DC, Marvel, and continues to grow here on YouTube. We'll have more videos about our beloved Man of Steel coming soon. See you in the next video.